You know, in workplaces all over the world, there's this silent barrier, and it can have some pretty devastating consequences. Today, we're going to talk about how to break it down. We're going to make sure every single employee, no matter what language they speak, can understand the most important language of all, the language of safety. So let's just jump right in with a single number, 25%. Now, this isn't a success metric or some random number pulled out of a hat. This comes straight from OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and it's a really big deal. What it actually represents is the percentage of job-related accidents where language barriers were a contributing factor. Think about that for a second. That's 1 in 4 preventable incidents, all rooted in a simple communication breakdown. So that 25%, it's not just a number on a page, right? It represents thousands of real people, real incidents. But the true impact, the real cost of misunderstanding, it goes so much deeper and creates this cascade of risk for any organization. And here's the thing. These risks don't just happen in a vacuum. They create this domino effect. A simple misunderstanding of a procedure, that can lead directly to higher injury rates. And in an emergency, a language gap can slow down the response, turning a minor issue into a major disaster. And beyond the human cost, you're looking at serious legal liabilities and just crumbling morale, leaving workers feeling excluded and unsafe.
And if you need another number to really drive this home, check this out. Data from the CDC shows that fatal injury rates are nearly 70% higher for foreign-born Hispanic workers compared to their US-born coworkers. Now, lots of factors are at play there for sure, but a lack of training in a language they can actually understand is a major, major contributor.
And look, this isn't just a nice-to-have or a suggestion. It is a legal mandate. OSHA's directive couldn't be clearer. Employers must provide training in a language and vocabulary their employees can understand. Just handing someone an English manual and calling it a day? Nope, that's not going to cut it. For training to actually be compliant, it has to be comprehensible. Okay, so we've laid out the problem, and it's a big one. The high cost is clear. So what do we do about it? Well, the solution is all about building a universal language of safety through clear, deliberate communication. Let's break down some of the core strategies. All right, strategy number 1, and this is the foundation for everything else. Keep it simple. This means stripping out all the jargon, getting rid of overly complex sentences, and just getting straight to the point. Plain language is better for everyone, but it's absolutely essential for those who aren't native speakers. Here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. On the left, you've got the jargon. Don appropriate PPE, commencing hazardous operations. It sounds official, but is it clear? Not really. Now look at the right. Wear the required safety gear before you start. It's simple, it's direct, and there's no way to misunderstand it. So much more effective. But hey, words are only part of the equation, right? The most universal language on the planet is visual. Well-chosen symbols, diagrams, videos, they can communicate really complex ideas in an instant. I mean, think about it. When you see that little flame symbol or a skull and crossbones, you know exactly what it means. No translation needed. It just clicks. So on top of that simple language and the visuals, a really solid approach adds 3 more layers to the mix. First, obviously provide materials in native languages. Second, use bilingual staff as instructors or translators. This allows for real-time questions and clarification. And finally, and this is a big one, move beyond words altogether. Get hands-on. Demonstrations and practice embed that knowledge in a physical way. And you might be thinking, does this stuff actually work? Oh yeah, it absolutely does. A safety initiative in Colorado's construction industry did exactly this. They provided Spanish-speaking instructors for their Hispanic workers. And the result? One major insurance company saw injury claims from those workers drop by 20%. That is a huge win and proof that bridging this gap works. Okay, so this all seems pretty straightforward, right? But it does bring up a really important question. If we just translate everything word for word, have we really truly solved the problem? Or is there more to it? And the answer, as you probably guessed, is a big yes. There's definitely more to it. True understanding, it goes beyond just simple words. It requires a real awareness of culture, and thankfully, the smart use of modern technology. Culture is huge here. It completely shapes how we communicate. Let me give you a real-world example. A safety organization once translated the term safety stand-down into Spanish. Well, it turns out that direct translation was interpreted by workers as a general strike. Whoops! That's a critical nuance that a direct translation totally missed. That's why involving bilingual employees to review materials is so important. Now, this is where technology becomes an incredible ally. Modern e-learning platforms can deliver training in dozens of languages, right at your fingertips. Mobile apps can put a real-time translator in every worker's pocket. And then you have these immersive tools, like virtual reality, that can simulate dangerous scenarios, giving people that crucial hands-on experience in a way that's almost completely independent of language. So let's bring it all together. What's the real payoff when a company actually goes all in on this? What happens when you truly invest in a multilingual safety program? Let's talk about the powerful, positive outcomes. Well, the return on investment here is massive, and it touches every part of the business. The number one benefit, of course, is fewer accidents and injuries, period. Right behind that, you've got better compliance with regulations, which cuts down your financial risk. But then you see these other effects. Morale goes way up because people feel seen and valued. And that leads to higher productivity and, ultimately, a stronger, more inclusive safety culture for everyone. So when you look at it this way, it completely reframes the whole conversation. Investing in inclusive safety isn't just an expense you have to manage, it's a strategic advantage. It delivers clear, measurable returns in safety, compliance, morale, and your bottom line.
You know, we hear it all the time. Safety is everyone's responsibility. And it is. But after all this, we have to ask a tougher question. Is everyone in your workplace truly equipped to be responsible? By making sure that safety speaks every language, we can finally answer that question with a confident yes.